everyone, Mortgage Nerd here. Guess what? A judge struck down the national moratorium on evictions, saying it is not something that the CDC has control over. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hey everyone, so yeah, I've been talking about this. I'm like, for me as a landlord, as someone who deals a lot with landlords, I don't like the fact that the CDC, it's a public health organization, it's not a real estate organization, just came out and said we need a moratorium on evictions. Now I get why, because it's not like these people were just, missing their payments or not paying their rent because they felt like it. They couldn't work. They were told they couldn't work because of the pandemic. So there was a period of time there where I understood it needed to be there. Maybe for some they still need it to be there, but there's also a lot of unemployment and people making more money than they would have if they were employed because they're collecting unemployment, and it's more than their employment would have been. So there's a lot to this. But let's talk about what this article is really saying here. So the U.S. District Judge Dabney Frederick in Washington said the agency exceeded its authority, speaking of the CDC, by issuing a broad moratorium on evictions across all rental properties. The CDC order must set aside, she said in a 20-day page opinion on Wednesday. In recent months, other judges issued more limited rulings blocking the ban on certain jurisdictions. Frederick's decision goes further, saying the entire ban should be overturned nationwide. What do you think? Put it in the comments. I want to hear what you guys are thinking. Don't just listen to me rant over here. I don't care if you don't agree with me. Bring it on. Let's go. Let's have some good discussion on these types of things. And don't forget to click the like button and subscribe and all that. And don't just watch me on social media. Let's go to YouTube and interact over there as well. As we move along, you have these different sides. You have the National Housing Law Project saying they should move quickly to overturn the ruling or risk mass evictions. Yeah, there would be a big wave of evictions, fortunately or unfortunately. But there's landlord groups that are applauding this. I mean, come on. I've heard all kinds of stories. People that were already in the eviction process before the pandemic hit. And then they were like, pshh. Now I can just sit here and not do anything. I'm going to collect unemployment. I'm not going to pay rent. And there's nothing you can do. The landlords are stuck and the landlords have to pay a mortgage, or they go into forbearance, and all those mortgage payments are adding on to their loan. And it's really detrimental to those landlords. It's not the landlord's fault that there's a pandemic either. And there is nothing for the government to come in and pay those mortgage payments for the landlord. So the landlord's really the one that gets shafted in all of this. So let's look at another comment from this judge, and I quote, "The Public Health Service Act authorizes the department, as in the CDC, to combat the spread of disease through a range of measures. But these measures plainly do not encompass the nationwide eviction moratorium set forth in the CDC order." She's got a point. So throughout the pandemic, property owners have argued that the overlapping bans have left them saddled with tenants who were delinquent even before the pandemic. Again, as I said, so, you decide, you comment, let me know what you think. You know where I stand. I stand with the landlords because there are those that are truly taking advantage of this in the wrong way. So as I've said before, we need to let the markets do what they do at this point. People need to get on with their lives, and if there's going to be some heartache, it's going to happen. It's unfortunate, but there's going to be more heartache because you're artificially putting things like a moratorium all these many months still in place after the pandemic. Mortgage Nerd out. Thanks.